What's up everyone, welcome back to Saint Seiya Awakening. In news that should surprise absolutely no one, we have another new banner this week. Yep, in case you hadn't heard, Athena SS will be the banner starting tomorrow. We'll be able to summon her between April 22nd and May 6th, and this means a couple of things. 2-week banner, 2-week training event, and it also coincides with the cat. Those last 2 days of the banner, we'll be able to hit the cat on that first Monday of the month, and then summon everything for Athena and still have enough time to train her. Now, whether this is the best course of action or not is something we'll discuss in detail at the end. I don't want to take too long before we get started with the review. I do want to give you some good news though. I know that a lot of you have been feeling that the English content has really slowed down, but it's really due to the enormous amount of time that it takes to create, edit, upload every one of these videos. I simply don't have enough time. So every video that I have to do in 2 languages pretty much kills a day because I have only enough time to do 1 video per day. The good news is that we now have a team of almost 10 people helping me with subtitles. That is an enormous help and I can't thank them enough. Most of the videos released up until this point will now have English subtitles. You can go back and check. YouTube usually has the little CC sign for closed caption right under the video, but sometimes it bugs out. Even if the CC doesn't show up, check the video. Most of them will have subtitles. The only exception is going to be the Spanish reviews because I'm obviously doing the review in English as well. Anyway, let's jump on Seiya and get started with this beauty. Alright then, here we are on Driga's account and ready to get started with the most beautiful #1 waifu in the world. Now, Athena is what we call a hybrid saint. She provides some support functions, but she's also capable of enormous damage. Her skills are anything but straightforward, so we're gonna do something here a little bit different, just like we did, I think it was for Isaga. We're gonna skip skill 1 and 2, and we're gonna jump to skill 3, because all of the other ones depend on whether we use this one first or not. Everything changes. This third skill is called the Land of Love and Peace, but that's way too long. I'm not gonna say that 1500 times in the review, so we're gonna call it the hippie camp. And this thing has not 1 or 2, but 4 different functions. So let's look at them one by one. The first and I suppose simplest one is that when we activate this skill, we immediately generate 2 energy, and that's why she's known as the Super Kiki or the Divine Cloth Kiki. This hippie state lasts for 4 rounds, and when it ends, we also generate 2 energy, which is a little bit strange because by the end of the 4th round, we really don't need that much energy anymore. Whatever. It generates at the beginning, it generates at the end. The second function is that it decreases the energy cost of using her second skill, which we're going to look at in a moment. That skill is her big damage, and it starts off, you can see it here on screen, with an outrageous cost of 6 energy. But when we have the hippie state active, anytime our team, that's all of our saints combined, use 3 energy, we reduce the energy cost of that second skill by 1. That's the second one. The third function is that if at the end of the round there's any energy left over, that energy will be converted into an attack boost for Athena. For each energy that remains, she will receive a 1% boost to her final damage. And lastly, the fourth function is that after using this skill, we immediately receive a second turn. So we can activate the hippie camp and immediately do something else. The last condition is that the skill has a 3-turn cooldown, but because it lasts 4 rounds, we really don't have to use it that often. The cooldown is kind of weird that it's only 3 when the skill lasts 4. So that's a lot of things that it does. Now let's see what we can get when we skill it up. When we have it on skill level 1, our units have to use 4 energy to get the cost reduction on the second one. If we improve it, we can take that down to 3 and then only 2 energy. The minimum that we can take that skill to also decreases. Now remember, it starts off with a cost of 6. If we have this skill at level 1, we can bring that cost down to 3, and if we skill it up, we can bring it all the way down to 0. But that's a lot of tomes. Lastly, we can improve the chances of getting the additional turn. It starts at only 60%, then goes to 80, and at only level 3, it goes to 100%. And remember this level 3 because it's very important. Good, we're done with the most complicated one. Now we can go back and actually look at the other 3 skills. The first one, called Holy Light, is a simple individual cosmic type attack. But if we have the hippie camp active, we actually have the choice of targeting an ally instead of just attacking an enemy. When we do that, we grant that ally Holy Light 2, which is basically a sort of buff that makes it so that anytime that unit is attacked, he has a chance to generate energy. So not only does the hippie camp generate energy, we can also do it by giving this buff to our allies. The chance to generate that additional energy starts at only 60%, but just like the third skill, it can be brought up with skill ups all the way to 100 at skill level 4. The maximum energy each unit can generate also goes from 2 to 3, and we can place this on 2 allies at the time. Now, that effect can end for 2 reasons. 1, he generates the maximum of energy, he can't generate any more, the Holy Light 2 ends. And if the hippie camp disappears, then the effect ends as well. On to her second, which is an amazing, beautiful skill. I can't wait to show it to you guys in action. This is the big daddy of damage for Athena. It's called the Scepter of Victory, and this thing starts with a multiplier of 500% Cosmo damage. It's an individual attack. With skill ups, that multiplier goes up to 600, but it's not just the damage. There's an additional condition. If we use this skill while the hippie camp is active, Athena will execute any enemy we hit that is below a certain HP threshold. That means that if that unit that we're attacking is below a certain amount of HP, Athena will immediately execute her, and she will ignore all damage reduction, all protection, all revive, Juna's Vine, absolutely everything. She will execute that unit and there's nothing you can do. That HP threshold starts at 15% and can go all the way up to 35 with skill ups. And it is incredibly strong, guys. This thing will prevent the chicken from coming back. It will go through dragon teeth, so enemies will die instead of proccing the dragon teeth. It will also ignore all shields, so Mu and Xion can't save you from this either. Now her fourth and last skill, which is a passive called Goddess of War. This thing allows Athena to remain in the battlefield when she receives a fatal hit. So if she gets attacked and she's gonna die, she has a chance to stay on the battlefield for a few more rounds. If she does, she becomes immune to all types of damage and all types of control. So she'll stay there and there's nothing you can do about it. The chances of it happening start at only 60% on skill level 1, but can go all the way to 100 if we max skill it. Now, she is a double S saint, so the requirements to get this skill to maximum are 20 tomes. That is crazy. It is an extremely useful skill, but also extremely costly. Oh, it also increases the rounds she stays from 2 to 3. Okay, and if that didn't give you a headache, I'm about to give you a headache talking about skill ups. There are two builds for Athena. There is a basic Athena that serves more than anything a support type of role, and there is the true goddess Athena that can absolutely wreck your enemy. The first build is not that costly, the second one is outrageous. Let's talk about the basic Athena first. Skill 1 we're gonna leave at level 1 because the only thing that increases is the chances of generating energy from the allies that we have protected. This is useful, but if we bring a team that doesn't depend on that energy generation, then we don't have to scale this up. It's good to have, but not necessary. The second one we're gonna leave on skill level 2 because we get a little bit more damage, but we also increase the threshold for HP. Now we execute anybody that's under 20% instead of 15. It doesn't sound like a huge difference, but we have to upgrade 2 skills for the 8 cents anyway. This is the second one that I would choose to upgrade. The first one, without a doubt, is skill 3. This one we're gonna want at level 3, just like Drigo has it here, because we have a 100% chance to get that additional turn. That is incredibly important, especially in late battle, because once we get to round 4 or 5, the energy cost of the second skill will come down a lot. In one turn, we can activate the hippie camp and then immediately nuke something. Having this chance at 100%, I would say, is essential. The fourth skill, which is the passive that prevents her from dying, I think is okay at level 1 if you're going for a very basic Athena, and I say that simply because the only way to get this to 100% is skill level 5, which is 20 tomes, so that no longer fits under the definition of a basic saint. Taking it to 2, 3, or 4 increases our chances a little bit, but it's still not guaranteed. So if you're not going to guarantee it, you might as well leave it at 1 and save your tomes. So that's the basic one. Now let's look at the goddess Athena. On skill level 1, in an ideal world where we have an infinite amount of skill tomes, we would love to have this thing on level 4. And that's because at that level, it's guaranteed that we're going to generate energy with the units that we have protected, and our maximum generation per unit goes up to 3. That means that in total, if we have the protection on 2 saints, we can generate 6 additional energy per turn. That's crazy. On to skill 2, where we would again love to have this thing on level 4. Not just because of the damage boost, 560 instead of 500, but because we now execute anybody that is below 30% HP. All we have to do is 2/3 of a character's HP, and then the kill is guaranteed. And something I forgot to mention before is that when you reach this threshold, you don't have to guess. You don't have to sit there and do calculations. Oh my god, am I below 30? Am I below 20? I'm not sure. The game actually tells you. You will see a red glow around the enemy's HP bar. The game is telling you that that character is ready to die. The third skill is another Tome Hog. This thing in an ideal Athena would be at level 5. There's a 100% chance to get the additional turn. We only have to spend 2 energy to bring down the energy cost of the second skill, and using that second skill can be brought all the way down to 0 energy. Again, a ridiculous amount of tomes, but if you can get this thing to 5, gross. Last, there's the passive, which again, we're gonna want at level 5, like I mentioned earlier. There's no point taking it to 2, 3, or 4 because it's still not guaranteed. It's not until we spend those 20 tomes and we get this thing to level 5 that we can be sure that we're gonna stay in the battlefield if we get killed. That's another 20 tomes. So yeah, I'm actually embarrassed to put the total tomes here on screen, so we're just gonna say that she requires more than 40. Moving on to more pleasant subjects, let's talk about her 8 cents, and she's actually very straightforward in that she pretty much needs everything at max. She is a character that can be used everywhere, but she's really strong in PvP. Anything we're gonna bring into PvP, we will want at level 6 eventually. If you don't have all the resources to do it straight away, then I would personally start with Beta because it gives us HP and status resistance, move on to Delta with HP and damage resistance, then Gamma with Cosmo attack and Cosmo damage, and lastly Alpha, which just gives us Cosmo attack and a little bit of Cosmo defense. Her Cosmo is fortunately not very complicated either, even though she is a hybrid and she can be support and attack. We looked at all of the top builds here on SEA and pretty much all of them agree. Under red, the number 1 choice is Rosary with a huge boost to her damage. If you're starting out in the game and you just got her and you can't get Rosary yet, then Eagle Eye is a good first option. It'll also give you Cosmo attack, Cosmo damage, and a little bit of HP, which doesn't really go bad with her because she's a hybrid anyway. Under Lunar, the top choices are Tenacity and Bloom with a gigantic boost to her HP. One of them gives physical defense, the other one gives Cosmo. I think the deciding factor factor here is going to be sub-attributes. Look at which set you can complete with the best sub-attributes and then just go with that. Under Star, there was like a 50-50 split between New Moon and Hummingbird. And again, I think this depends greatly on what kind of subsets you can get. New Moon gives us a bigger speed boost, but if you can find good speed sub-attributes in the other Cosmo, then you might not have to go with New Moon and you can go with Hummingbird. If on the contrary, you find a lot of sub-attributes with Cosmo attack and Cosmo damage, then you can forgo the damage boost from Hummingbird and go straight up New Moon super speed. Equip the other sets first, see where you end up as far as sub-attributes, and then make the decision whether you want to go super speed with New Moon or you're going to take the damage boost from Hummingbird. Lastly, we have the legendary, and we also had a sort of split here. One of them makes a lot of sense in my brain and the other one doesn't really. I'm going to explain them both anyway. The first choice, and the one I like most, is Felina, and that's for a very simple reason. At the start of the battle, the energy cost of her attack is way too high. You're not going to use it. When that cost finally comes down and you're ready to do your first nuke, you won't have used any energy the previous round, so you're going to get a 50% damage boost from Felina. If by whatever miracle you also max skill that third skill, then the energy cost of her attack goes down to 0, meaning you will always proc Felina. The second choice we saw quite a bit of was Decelerator, and this is the one that doesn't make that much sense to me because I usually think about Decelerator for supports that do AoE attacks. She's a single target attacker, but still this can be useful for very specific situations where you want to mess up the turn order of your enemy. Some very common cases are Hashun and Milo. If you can make the Hashun slower than Milo, then that's a whole round where you won't get the 2 attacks from Milo. If you can make the chicken slower than Jamian, then Jamian won't be able to full heal him after he transforms. The only way to apply it at the beginning of the battle though would be to use her first skill, and I guess if you don't have a high energy consumption team, then you will be using that first skill to attack instead of give the blessing to one of your units, so that's when Decelerator could come in. In any case, I would choose Felina over Decelerator, I think. As far as sub-attributes, as a hybrid character that fulfills several functions, she's gonna need a little bit of everything. You're gonna want Cosmo attack and Cosmo damage so that you can do lots of damage with that second skill. You're gonna want HP, defense, and resistance to make sure you can survive and you can move, and you're also gonna want speed so that you can get that hippie camp started sooner. So her Cosmo type is simple, but the sub-attributes are not. Alright, we're done with the hard part. No, I'm just kidding. Now we gotta talk about teams. And because she is a hybrid and she is a support, she kinda goes everywhere. Kinda like Kiki, you can literally use him anywhere. There are some specific combinations that I'll mention though. For example, with Gold Cygnus Yoga, the Divine Duck, he can redirect the enemy's attacks towards Athena, and once she's in her ghost form, when she dies and stays on the battlefield, she's immune to all damage. So we can basically force the enemy to keep attacking her, waste their attacks, and she's never going to die. We can do the same with Hades and his contract. We can actually contract our own Athena, and when she's on ghost form, all of the damage that would go to her, she doesn't take it. All of the damage that goes to Hades will go to her and she doesn't take it. It's a really strong combination, these dual gods. Another one is that now that we have 2 units that can generate energy, she can create 2, Kiki can create 2, it's a lot easier to use the cannon combo on the first turn. With these 2 combined, we don't even need Luna. We'll have the 7 energy that it takes to triangle someone and then AoE them. There's also a decent combination with Aphrodite, even though it's not a saint that we're seeing too much of right now. With the rebirth, he will come back and we can generate tons of energy, make sure that he's full when it gets to the end of the turn, though if we spend all the energy with Pisces, then there will be nothing left for Athena to get that attack boost. So it's a combination, but at the same time, it's not. In the very near future, this saint will also be introduced, the Divine Shiryu. They make an excellent team because Athena can generate a ton of energy, then Shiryu can use it to protect, counterattack, defend, nobody dies. It's amazing. Once these 2 are in the game, you're going to see them in every single team that is lucky enough to pull them both, and whaley enough to be able to build them both properly. As far as weaknesses, she doesn't have too many, but one of them for sure has to be the cost of getting her to max functionality. It is crazy to spend 60 or more tomes on a single character. If we want to use her full power, that's what we're gonna need. She's also susceptible to control while she's not in her ghost form. She can be frozen, stunned, silenced, etc. It's only until she dies and stays on the battlefield that she becomes immune. Some specific counter units can be the Shiryu without clothes, the one that gets stronger when we generate energy. Because she generates energy herself and then the allies we protect also generate energy, then that naked Shiryu is gonna get a huge attack boost. Evil Saga can also be a counter if we go with a team that uses a lot of that energy that Athena generates. He's still gonna counterattack if we attack with energy. Her attack also uses energy unless we can get it to max skill, which is pretty crazy. So Isaga is there. She is also a counter to herself with that skill that doesn't let her revive. If our Athena is low in HP and the enemy Athena uses that second skill, she's gonna annihilate us, and even if we have the 4th skill at max level, we still can't stay. We die. As for uses, literally everywhere. She can be used in all elements of PvE as a simple energy generation unit and then an attacker in the latest rounds. She's super useful in PvP. You're gonna start seeing her absolutely everywhere. Even in her basic build, she's still really useful. Her main purposes are going to be that energy generation and then simply executing saints once they get low. And with that, we're ready to do a demonstration, but instead of doing an arena battle, which is what we usually do, I'm going to show you some battles we did yesterday when we were testing her on stream. I chose these because we had a lot of fun doing them. They're quite funny. You also get to see a character that's going to be introduced very soon, and we get to see her ultimate attack and how she just deletes that unit. Let's try. Saga. ¿Ese Saga será renacido? ¿Será que nos parten acá? Are we gonna get annihilated? I wonder. Lo malo es que no sé cómo funciona el Shiryu. I don't know what Shiryu does. Dragon stuff. We just did dragon stuff. We just did dragon stuff. Veamos esto a Shiryu. Alright, let's do this on Shiryu. And we go on Milo. Gusanito. I don't know what I'm doing. The Michael Shiryu against... What? No, we do this one. I don't know, I think that's second skill. Okay. Oh, and we attack again. Profita. No tenemos energía para Milo. No energy for Milo. No! Denmark June. Wait, what June? What do you mean June? It's fine, we're not here to see Dragon, it doesn't matter. We're not here to see Dragon. I just want to see our execution. That's all I want. Solo quiero ver la ejecución. Wait, are we dead? No, we're fine, man. We're fine. We're gonna get this guy lower. Matemos otro. Bruto style. This is Bruto style. Oh my god, what the shit is this? Huh? Consumes all dragons upon use? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, we protect. Okay. He protect, he heal, he revive. Oh, doble gusaneada. Oh, these guys are... Wait, no, I don't want to kill them. No los quiero matar, guys. Wait, no. Oh, yeah, we do this. Wait, I don't want to kill them. No los quiero matar. One second. One segundo. Ah, ahí ya se ve la barra. We can see the bar already. Ya podemos ver el glow. ¿Ven? What the shit? We just killed that guy. Acabamos de matar a esa Athena, la asesinamos. No! Se murió, guys! No! Shiryu, you stupid idiot! You stupido! Estúpido Shiryu! Ay, Dios mío! Pew! No! Why you do this, man? Everybody died. Vimos el brillo, pero no pudimos ver la animación. Este estúpido Shiryu. I'm gonna take him out. Lo voy a sacar. Por tryhard. I'm gonna take him out. Take his ass out. Screw this guy, man. Screw this guy. Off. Wait. Go Hades. Double cup. I don't even know if your Hades has Cosmo. I don't care. I don't think we can lose. Arayashiki Poseidon. Holy shit, Batman. Nani? Alright, we do this thing. No sé qué cosa Daichi hizo. Y protegemos a... Who we protect? We protect Hades. We do the thing on Hades. And now we do... Gusaneamos. Hades no Cosmo? Hades has Cosmo. Not great Cosmo, but he has some Cosmo. Algo de Cosmo tiene. Yeah, I see it's pretty shit. It's okay. We have a mission. Tenemos una misión muy sencilla acá. Práfata. Dios mío! That's a lot of damage, bros! Oh, that's a lot of damage! Holy shit! Oh. And Hades is brutal! I mean, that Poseidon! Brutal! Now what the f do we do? Gusaneémoslo. No tenemos dos turnos. Prófalo. Oh shit, we're screwed, guys. We're screwed. We're still alive, we're still alive. Gusano, do your... Gusano is doing Gusano things, ¿ok? Gusano is doing Gusano things. Esperemos que alguien termine acá medio bajo. No more. We get to see it, we get to see it. She's glowing. She's glowing. No, stop. We got it, guys. We got it. Here we go. Ooh. Oh. Just disappeared. She went poof. Oh. Very good. Buenísimo. Very good. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. I hope the review is useful to help you decide if you want to pull her and how you want to build her. Now we're gonna talk about two different subjects which I think are very important in this moment. The first one is a comparison between Athena and the next likely saint, which is gonna be Divine Shiryu. There's a lot of people wondering which one is better, which one is worth building, and it really depends on your account and what you want to use it for. What I'm gonna give you is the breakdown of the cost. Now, like we already saw, Athena SS has a very basic build that only requires 8 tomes, but allows her to start using her right away. The Divine Shiryu, just like the Divine Pegasus and Evil Saga, is a character that doesn't really function well without a minimum build, and that minimum build is really expensive. You're gonna need over 20 tomes to get any use out of him. That makes Athena, even though she's a SS unit, actually cheaper to build than Dragon, which is an S unit. Does that mean she's better? No. Divine Shiryu is also a very strong unit that you're gonna see everywhere once he's introduced. The second subject is whether it's better to do your 40 daily summons while the summoning event is on, or if it's better to wait for the cat and then summon everything on those last 2 days. And the math boils down to a very simple question. How many summons would you have to do to get those shards that you didn't get from doing the 40 daily for the event? If you do the 40 daily during 2 weeks, that's 40 shards you're gonna get, almost 1/3 of the whole character. If we assume a drop rate of about 2 shards for every 10 pulls, which is actually not realistic, it's much lower than that, then you would need 200 summons to get those 40 shards. If you wait for the cat and you can use all of his levels, the maximum you're gonna get is between 100 and 200 summons. That means that the summons from the cat are the exact same amount that you're gonna save by doing your 40 dailies and getting those 40 fragments. If you do a daily, there's also the chance that you get her before the cat comes out. Maybe you get lucky, you get her on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th day, it only costs you 120, 160 summons, you still have enough left over to use the cat on that Monday and save for the next ban. So my recommendation as always is do your 40 dailies. I know it's not easy, I fall for it all the time myself. I started with 40 daily, then the chat pressures me during stream to do my summons and we end up throwing everything. Do as I say, not as I do. 40 daily is still the best option. With that, I'm gonna leave you for today. If you haven't already, please remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any videos, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye!